Hey guys, I'm Randy.
And I'm Daniel.
We're two lifelong friends and musicians, but when we're not playing gigs, we like to talk games.
And today on the Gaming Gig podcast, we're discussing whether or not you and we regret buying our PlayStation 5s.
Daniel, last week we asked this question about the Xbox Series consoles, so it's only fair that this week we ask the question about the PlayStation 5.
Yep, and maybe eventually we'll ask about the Switch. I mean, who knows?
Maybe an upcoming podcast. We'll have to see. So the question was, do you regret buying a PS5? We put a poll out, and this is what people had to say about it.
Yeah, 2.6 thousand total votes. So that's pretty awesome. 5% said yes, 35% said no, and 60% said they don't own one. So we crunched the numbers again because we're numbers guys. Mm-hmm. And out of our total participants there, 40% of you said you owned a PlayStation, and that comes out to about 12.5% of you regret buying that PlayStation 5.
Which is about half the number of the people who said they regretted buying an Xbox Series console.
And out of a bigger sample size, too.
And this is out of a bigger sample size, yeah. So, I mean, it's interesting. And I'm not trying to make this a console wars thing. It's just interesting to compare. We kind of have to.
Right.
I mean, it'd be weird not to.
This is the way.
This is the way. So, Daniel, you own a PS5.
Mm-hmm.
I own a PS5.
Mm-hmm.
Do you regret buying your PS5?
No, I think it's awesome.
I also think the PS5 is awesome. Of course, I don't regret buying my Xbox Series console either.
Right.
I'm a collector of consoles. So are you. Mm-hmm. And so, of course, we like having them. But I think if we had been completely disappointed with it by now, I think we would be honest and say, like, hey, even though we're collectors and we like having them, I'm disappointed in this particular system.
Definitely. And I mean, for me, the biggest thing is still that dang controller. Like, I love the controller. Mm-hmm. And just because of that, I couldn't be disappointed. Right. I love the dual sense so much.
Yeah, the DualSense is I think my favorite console controller that has been created thus far. Mm-hmm. I think the literal only way that it's going to be topped is if the DualSense and the way it feels and the size, it's a large controller. Mm-hmm. I really like everything about it. It feels very premium. Mm-hmm. If it had offset joysticks, then it would be my perfect controller.
You prefer offset?
I do.
I flip-flop. I really don't know that I have a preference. I kind of like having the D-pad up higher.
For certain games. Yeah, absolutely.
For me, the one improvement they can make is I wish the D-pad itself was just a little better.
You wish it was an actual kind of full D-pad, not have the plastic going over it so that it's not obstructed?
And I used to think that was more of a problem than it is. But then I went back and started using a DualShock 4 for some fighting games, and I actually really, really like that D-pad. So I think they could fix it without making it a full exposed cross shape if they wanted to.
So on the DualSense 4, the D-pad was textured, mm-hmm. and on the DualSense, it's like really shiny, slick plastic.
Yeah, it kind of grips my thumb in a weird way, and I also had trouble with diagonals.
Well, there you go. Well,
and I didn't on a DualShock. That thing, I can't believe how much I liked it, to be honest with you. I wish I had tried it before I bought the 8-bit Do controller, because honestly, I like it just as much.
Yeah, I personally love the DualShock 4 controller mm-hmm. as well, for different reasons. I don't think it's as nice as the DualSense in most ways.
No,
but there are some things I really like about it.
Yeah.
Now that we've had a rant about PlayStation controllers,
mm-hmm.
so no, I really have enjoyed the PS5. I think it's a great system. If I had to recommend, one console right now, I would say the PS5 is probably the place to be because you've got a little bit of future proofing.
Yep.
Games are going to continue to come out on them. It seems like in general, when you're talking about console games, it seems to be that the best versions of those games typically land on PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
So for those reasons, I think that it's probably the default in terms of what I would recommend.
And you've got your PS Plus now that's kind of just like your Game Pass, substitute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got your remote play.
It's
got those great exclusives. Yeah, you can't argue with it.
No, the PS5 is definitely a great system, and it doesn't seem like many people have had many issues with it besides maybe the way it looks.
And just obtaining one to begin with, but that was everything.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't like the way the PS5 looks. I've gotten used to it. Mm-hmm. When I first saw it, I was like, what in the world is this? It looks crazy. But
yeah, I wish it was a little smaller. It's a little unwieldy.
It's really long.
Yes.
It's not that like wide. In fact, the Xbox Series X is significantly wider than it, but it's shorter, so it's easier to fit places.
Oh, yeah.
PS5 is long. And it's weirdly shaped.
And it's a rectangular prism. Like, you can just sit at places. Like, the PlayStation, you have to use the stand, and it's like, they really...
They've got this cool floating stand, but it makes it weird, and everything's weird about it.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
There's a lot of weird stuff. But overall, I mean, I've enjoyed it. But let's see what people have to say, because we have some comments on this. And first we got Steve Davies, who said, I don't recommend it as an essential upgrade like I have done with previous generations, but it's still an upgrade. Games run smoother and quicker and load a lot faster and update faster, so I'm happy. Would be nice to get more games that are not being held back by last gen, though.
Yeah, and we've said that before.
Well, I'm sure we have.
We definitely have. I know I have when I was talking about Ragnarok. I wish Ragnarok was a true next-gen exclusive because I think it could have been even better, you know. But
I think we're starting to see that now. I think this is going to be the last year that we get cross-gen games. I think by the time 2024 rolls around, I don't think we're going to see them. We're already seeing stuff like the new Horizon Forbidden West DLC was PS5 only, despite Horizon Forbidden West being a, cross-gen game.
Right.
The DLC is PS5 only. The new Cyberpunk DLC coming out is also PS5 only, or next generation only. I'm sure it'll be on Xbox Series X as well, but it's only on the newer generation of consoles. So we're starting to see stuff like that. The new Spider-Man game is not going to be cross-gen. I think we're on the very tail end of that. But that being said, we've almost had 3 years of...
Yeah, we're deep into this generation.
I'd say a good 2.5 years of what we're going to see for cross-gen. Yeah. And it didn't feel like we got that with the PlayStation 4. It may have been because the internal architecture and the way games had to be programmed was so different between the PS3 and the PS4, so that it was much harder.
Could be.
Whereas on the PS5, I think there's a lot more similarities between it and the PlayStation 4.
It was also a bigger jump, from 3 to 4. Like as the tech gets better and better, the jumps will be smaller and smaller. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
So,
but it is nice to see. Have you played any PlayStation 5 exclusives that weren't cross-gen? I guess you played a couple, right?
Yeah, I played Returnal, and I also played Rift Apart, Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah. Anything you felt like was truly deserving of that next-gen experience? Could those games have run on?
Ratchet and Clank, from the beginning, I was like, holy crap, this looks so good. So I don't know if they could have pulled off everything in the PS4 that they did with that game. I mean, it was breathtaking at times.
Some people have said that it was a marketing gimmick because it happened so early in PS5 that they're saying okay, they were saying that it used the SSD to accomplish these really quick shifts in scenery and stuff. But they're like, I've seen some videos saying that technically could have been done on PS4, and it was more of a little bit of a marketing gimmick. Not that it was entirely untrue, but not,
I mean, I'm sure I know way less about that stuff than the people who make the games do. So
right, yeah.
There may have been some of that, but I still loved that game, and I thought it was truly felt next gen.
Beautiful game.
And Returnal also has a crap ton going on. So I don't know. I mean, we certainly saw some struggles with Returnal on PC. I don't know how it would go on PS4. I really don't know how to speak to that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about this same conversation about, I don't know that I've played a game that I felt like couldn't run on the previous generation, with maybe the exception of this newest. Thank you for my mug. Maybe with the exception of this newest Horizon Forbidden West DLC, there were some visual things and some really these beautiful clouds and stuff that I don't remember in the base game as much. And of course, I was playing the base game on PS5. But still, I don't remember that sort of stuff last generation. So those things felt kind of new. And I agree. Also, Rift Apart was the one that immediately popped into my head because that was the first one I played.
Well, there was some talk about when Tears of the Kingdom trailers started coming out about the clouds.
Yeah, those.
So I think clouds can...
Maybe the tech's come along on clouds.
Maybe so.
Maybe.
I don't know. It seems like clouds can be a defining feature, though. People seem to latch to the clouds.
Yeah, I think because clouds are one of those things that I think were kind of hard to pull off super realistically. And now that we're starting to see it, it's Okay, well, I mean, have they just figured it out? Have they cracked the code, or is it really something that we just needed more tech? We need to throw more tech behind it. Who knows?
Right. All right. Well, before we move on with more comments, we think it's important to tell you about our Discord server. So we have a Discord server, Gaming Gig. You can find an invite link in like any Gaming Gig thing anywhere, like the description for any videos, homepage of the YouTube channel. You can find it. Don't worry about it. You should click it because it's a great little community where we love talking games.
We'd love to have you. You know, if you don't have a Discord, create one just to join us because it's a fun place to hang out.
Heck yeah, you get notifications when we go live on Twitch. You get notifications when we drop videos, podcasts. We even have a food channel now where people talk about like exclusively British food. Well, not exclusively British food channel, but we learned about a British food through our food channel.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just saying, go post pictures of eggs and stuff.
But back to PS5 talk, you know, and do people regret buying it? Next, we got YKing277, who said, I don't regret it because I only bought it for Final Fantasy games and the Souls games. In addition, my only criticism is that Sony needs to improve its PlayStation Plus subscription. Interesting take. You don't regret it because you only bought it for Final Fantasy games and Souls games. Well, so Final Fantasy games, or at least a lot of the Final Fantasy games are exclusive to, like, seems like Sony has made a deal so that they're the only ones who are getting some of those games, like the upcoming new.
But not all of them.
Not all of them. It's like some. It's like the big ones.
The big ones.
They've got the big ones. They've got like the Final Fantasy, the main line games. They've also got the 7 remakes. They're exclusive. But then you got other things that are not, and they're going everywhere.
Yeah, Crisis Core went everywhere.
We have the new Pixel remasters going everywhere. So, I mean, it's like, I don't know, but they seem to, they're not like hard exclusives, but they are weirdly.
Yeah, and it seems like they're timed as well, because Final Fantasy VII Remake did eventually come to PC. And I don't know, it may have went there immediately, for all I know. I don't know.
I don't know. It may
I really don't know.
I really don't know. I played it on PS5. So.
I did as well, and I loved it.
And Souls games, yeah, I guess that's same sort of deal, right?
Well, not Elden Ring.
Not Elden Ring, yeah. But the Demon Souls.
The Demon Souls remaster?
That was on PlayStation only.
Was it?
I'm pretty positive that the Demon Souls remake was on was a PS5 exclusive. But who knows? I mean, I don't play those games, so I don't know anything about them. We were talking about that in the Discord server, and we were talking about.
Yeah, it was a PS5 only.
Where it was like was some of the Dark Souls. What about the more recent? What was the Dark Souls game before Demon Souls? Before that one.
The remake?
No, I mean not. There wasn't a Dark Souls remake.
Or remastered?
Was it Dark Souls remastered? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know anything about those games, so we're just showing our Souls ignorance here.
We are.
But I know I remember thinking that the Demon Souls remake was a PlayStation exclusive. Interesting. But in terms of talking about Sony needs to improve its PlayStation Plus subscription, I would be interested in knowing what your criticisms are with it. Because, I mean...
Yeah, it seems pretty solid. So, yeah, I'd be curious as well.
Is it like a game thing? Because I know their game catalog is kind of smaller, but it seems like even though it's smaller, they have some pretty high quality. So it's kind of more... They're going for quality over quantity, it seems.
That's not a bad approach.
No, it's not bad. Also, we have I think the PlayStation Plus base subscription. I don't remember. Maybe Essential, I think is what it's called.
Essentials.
I think it's significantly better than what a lot of the competitors are offering in terms of their, baseline subscription service, because I think the free games they give you every month are generally, at least decent games.
Yeah, there's usually one, at least.
That seems like, I might want to play that.
Yeah.
I rarely play them, but it seems like they're better.
But you could.
Yeah, but then you got you got Epic putting out free games that are like always pretty good. And they're like, so who knows? And that you don't have to pay a thing for that.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So maybe they do need to beef up their PlayStation Plus thing.
Beef. It's what's for dinner.
All right. Hit us with Tom Derry there.
Tom Derry says, I don't regret it at all, but honestly, I play more retro games on it than anything. Being backwards compatible with PS4 is a huge selling point, and all the PS5 games I own are available on PS4 also, so maybe I should have gotten a PS4 Pro instead.
No, you shouldn't have got a PS4 Pro.
Yeah, no, I think you made a good call.
Not that there's anything wrong with the PS4 Pro. I just think, if you were in the market to buy, okay, I'm going to get a PS5 right now. I don't think it would have made sense to get a PS4 Pro because the amount of life you're going to get out of it's going to be very little.
Yeah, you're limiting you're definitely dating the lifespan of your console there. Is he saying PS4 is retro?
Now, Tom, PS4 is not retro. But here's the thing. The question is like, we've had this discussion before, is like, what is retro?
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people do consider if it's not the current gen, it's retro. Mm-hmm. You know, like their definition of what retro is, you know, maybe pretty extreme. Where a lot of us old timers, we think like it's only retro if it was from our childhood.
Right. Yeah. I only think retro if it's like up to like 64 bits. You know, like like that's what I think of. But I think we talked about it one time and kind of came to the agreement that maybe it's like once we got HD, everything before it was retro.
I think, but you got to think like in a few years,
But yeah, it's going to move.
It's going to keep moving.
It's always a moving target. Yeah.
So, I mean, like maybe it makes sense to say like, look, if it's not current gen, if it's last gen or older, maybe that's, you know, it's not the new stuff. It's retro.
No.
Maybe we should just say 2 gens back. Maybe like if it was like for example, if we say, okay, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, maybe that's retro.
I have a hard time calling PlayStation 3 retro, but it's easier than 4.
3
Honestly,
generations back then.
I get iffy at PS2. Like, I think PS2 might be right when it starts for me right now.
Go play some PS2 games right now, man. They are retro.
I know, but that, well, maybe. I don't know. I mean,
they are. Trust me.
I know. I played Tony Hawk Underground very recently, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're retro.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just hard. It's like
it's because you're getting old,
like
and
that's when it starts.
You don't want to admit that you're getting old.
Oh, I know. I'm getting old.
Yeah, and you just don't realize like there are kids. There are probably people watching right now who don't even remember the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 generation at all.
Probably.
If you're one of those people, let us know. See.
Yeah.
And it's because we're old. You know?
I mean, I've been playing like SNES recently, so like that's real old.
Yeah. That is from your childhood.
Yeah, Game Boy Advance. It's been fun. All right,
we got
us with
Eric E. Pick TV.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with that.
I think you got
said getting a PS5 was probably my best purchase ever, made especially with PlayStation Plus Premium. Okay, you know,
yeah,
I will have to say, you know, if you say it's your best purchase ever, that's glowing. That's glowing. We didn't see that about the Xbox.
No, I don't recall seeing that.
No, I mean, but the thing is, I hate to just. I know I'm kind of feel like I'm trying to make this a console wars thing, and I promise I'm not, because I actually really enjoy the Xbox. I've been playing only my Xbox recently. I haven't been playing my PS5.
How many times can you negate the hate by saying that?
I don't know. Actually, I have been playing my PS5. I played it the other day because I was playing Switchback on it on my PSVR 2. But recently, I've been playing Dead Island 2 on my Xbox. Mm-hmm. And was it because I got a review code and it happened to be on Xbox? Maybe. But would
you have preferred it on PlayStation? Yes.
That's not what I got the review code for.
Right.
But
I get it.
But still, you know. I got Redfall. I'm going to start. I'm going to have to play that on Xbox.
I guess you are. Yeah.
So
that's true.
I don't know. I just feel bad because I really do like Xbox, and I feel like, but I really like PlayStation. But
do you like Xbox, or do you like the idea of Xbox? And do you like Quick Resume?
I love Quick Resume. I love Quick Resume.
That's what Randy likes. He doesn't care about the games or the console. He just likes Quick Resume.
Well, and how can I care about the games when there aren't any games, Daniel?
You just said you got Redfall, bro.
I know, but I haven't played it yet. But I've seen reviews, and I don't have high hopes.
I don't either. Did you see? Was it Phil Spencer who recently said that there's no world in which Starfield is good enough to
help
overtake?
Yeah. I saw that. He's like, there's no way Starfield comes out and it's an 11 out of 10 game, and we end up like overtaking the PlayStation. People are selling their PS5s to buy Xboxes just so they can play Starfield. He's like, there's no world in which that happens.
That is so funny. That's like,
hey, he's being honest.
Doctor Strange needs to check all the multiverse, and
it's the truth.
It is probably the truth, yes.
I mean, I really do hope Starfield's awesome, because the closer we get, the more hyped I get about it. Because I haven't played that many like Bethesda RPGs, but what I have played, I really did enjoy. So I am excited about Starfield, and I think that, you know, there's potential that it's going to be good, because even like the newest Fallout, like Fallout 76, even though it wasn't great at launch, apparently they've worked on it a lot, and it's become what people say is actually a pretty good game.
Yeah, that's the one of those like newer Bethesda RPGs that I haven't played, and it's because it had such a bad launch. I just kind of wrote it off. But yeah, I mean, people say you can play it now, so that's cool.
I saw a video on it just today talking about how good it is now.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe I should check it out. But I definitely have a special place in my heart for those games. So I hope Starfield slaps.
Yeah.
All right, we got a comment from Arcata.
Arcata.
I had one, sold it after 3 months. I basically only game on PC and Switch anymore, so I don't need anything else anymore.
Interesting. Going for the PC approach instead of having like one of the more powerful consoles.
I think you can do that. It's just all these PC ports suck now for like the first month that they exist, and that sucks.
As long as you're cool with not being day one, right?
Yeah.
Because it does seem like that the PC ports, for whatever reason, are just I don't know what it is. I don't know what is causing these PC ports to be bad. I think we need to do a podcast on this someday. Maybe do some research and then find out. Maybe we'll get your guys' opinion on it.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, and we'll talk about it. But if you're gonna have a PC, I do think having a Switch is a good idea because that way you can play those Nintendo exclusives. But yeah, I mean, like most things that come to PS5 are coming to PC. Gosh. Yeah. But except the console exclusives, and I think that's probably one of the more reasons that I lean towards getting like a PlayStation 5 over a PC personally. I think that the games tend to be they tend to run better now for whatever reason. They run better on PlayStation 5 than they do on PC to begin with.
Yeah.
And then you also get those exclusives. So
it just depends on what you care about. If you care about the new exclusives, then sure, get the PlayStation. If you want the ability to play all these older games.
Yeah, definitely.
Like from any time. I mean, yeah, then get a PC. It can do a lot more. It just doesn't always get the brand new stuff, it seems like these days, and it work well. And it doesn't have those console exclusives, but maybe.
And for context, we both have gaming PCs and we use them. We do play games on them, and like it's not like
I love mine.
Yeah, it's not like we just play on console, but I'd say I primarily play on console. And you've been hopping around doing a lot of handheld, Steam Deck. And
yeah, all I've played this week is little handheld emulators. That's all I played this week.
So he doesn't even play with PS5. Why are we even talking about this?
I do.
I'm just messing.
I just didn't.
I'm just messing with you. So next we got.
I didn't even boot up the Steam Deck.
I
haven't booted it up for like 6 days.
Oh my gosh!
That's like the longest I've gone without booting it up.
Guys, send your prayers towards Daniel. He needs it right now. He's in a bad spot.
I'm not though. I've been having a great time, but yeah, it's been weird.
We got a comment from Keith Cool who said, it's still early for the games to come. 2024 will be the time to buy one. Maybe a pro version.
And then he's got this emoji.
It's like, maybe pro.
I also think this is Keith K. Ool.
You don't think it's Keith Cool? You think it's Keith K. Ool, like Keith, like King K. Rool.
Yeah.
Keith, let us know. I have to know now. I really am interested.
Keith K. Ool.
So this is interesting, saying like there's definitely like this mentality of wait until the console generation has matured enough to where there's a bunch of like really good games to come in and play it. That was my mentality for the previous generation of consoles. And a lot of consoles before that, I kind of thought that way. It kind of made sense to me. Now I really like to get in early, but I think that's a totally legit opinion and a way to approach playing games.
Yeah, me too.
Because if you're cool with just waiting, like, why not wait? So
I do a lot of waiting. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, so 2024 may be the time. And the rumors are that a PS5 Pro is potentially coming in 2024. So who knows? I don't know what we're going to see from a PS5 Pro.
And let's be honest, the giant, triangular shaped elephant in the room that can be broken into 3 smaller triangles, elephant in the room, is that you don't need a PS5 at all right now because Tears of the Kingdom is fixing to drop and all you need is a Switch.
That's right.
That was a Triforce reference, by the way.
I got that. I didn't know where you were going at first, and I realized, is he talking about the Triforce? And then it was. I don't think we're going to get a whole lot of Triforce references in Tears of the Kingdom, though, I'm afraid. I mean, I don't think the Triforce is going to be very Like, I don't think it's gonna be a central like point like it was in other games, because it seemed like Breath of the Wild, the Triforce, like it wasn't a big thing.
No, I mean, I think there's lots of Zelda games where the Triforce really isn't the main thing. I think the Triforce is like, this is a huge sidebar, but I think the Triforce. Oh, don't click on that. The Triforce is just like kind of the undercurrent that like enables the story, right? Because the whole point is like Link has Triforce courage, Zelda has wisdom, Ganondorf has power. They get reincarnated. They're locked in an eternal struggle, right? So anyway, there's your Zelda history lesson.
But you know what I mean? Like in some games, like it'll be like a bigger thing.
Like Ocarina.
Like Ocarina of Time. Yeah. Like a big thing. Yeah. In other games,
love to get back
not
to
so
that.
much there.
I would love to see. Like,
but who knows, right? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
Oh, I'm so pumped though.
Yeah, that will be. I'm sure next week, because by the time we record the podcast next week, it'll have been out for a couple days.
Oh my God, we're inside a week.
We're within a week. It comes out at the time we're recording this podcast. It comes out Friday. This next coming Friday,
and I'm off work that day.
It's going to be a good day.
It is going to be a good day.
All right, hit us with Captain Pep's comment here.
All right, Captain Pep says, I skipped the PS4 generation, and buying a PS5 means I can play every PS4 game as well as any game released exclusively for the PS5. It would have been kind of dumb for me to buy a PS4 instead of a 5, though I understand people with PS4s not wanting to buy a 5 due to many factors, including price, exclusive games, and even being able to find one in Dollar General. in general.
Yeah, you really can't find one at Dollar General.
No.
But yeah, I mean, like this kind of talks about that same sort of stuff we just talked about. You know, like if you have a PS4, like there probably hasn't, unless there's like a couple games and you're like, I can just wait a little bit.
Sure.
You know, really the thing that kind of like I think would bug me now is that so many PS4 games are running at lower frame rates. Mm-hmm. And it's something that I didn't really think about at all during the PS4 generation, but that's kind of been like where the tech's heading, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking for now. It's like, what frame rate does this run at?
Right.
All right, we got another one from Richie here. For now, all the best exclusives are on the PS4 too. Interesting. But I'm eager to get my hand on the slim version of the PS5. Right now, the design is still ugly, in my opinion.
Yeah, we are hearing about that Slim.
I mean, I've heard things like, "Oh, the Slim's coming and all the Pro's coming." I don't know which one it is. Maybe one of the two. Maybe it's
the OLED.
The PS5 OLED. That would be something else. That would be like, oh, yes, it's a PS5 and it just has like a little like 6-inch OLED screen just on it.
It just pops up.
Yeah, that would be. I wonder if anyone would feel like they really needed that. No, that would be hilarious. That would be an awful, awful idea.
Yeah, maybe it's PS5 Lite. Or maybe it's the new PS5.
The new PS5.
XL.
The new PS5. So they're going with the 3DS naming system. I get it. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting.
Maybe PS5i.
But going back to the actual conversation at hand here, the best exclusives are on PS4, Richie says. I think that, I mean,
I agree with that.
Probably the best exclusives that are on PlayStation probably are those cross-gen games, because I knew like, hey, if we don't release them on both, we're going to lose out on a lot of sales.
Was Last of Us Part 1 PS5 only?
Yes.
Okay, well, there you go. That's a good one.
Yeah, but Last of Us, Last of Us is on PS4 as well, and it's not like it's that big of a difference. It's just a reskin. So I mean, the base game is still there.
Right.
So, yeah, you got, but, like Ragnarok is on both.
God of War is on, regular old God of War 2018's on both.
Yeah, but that was just on PlayStation 4 to begin with.
Did they never do a PS5 patch for that? I guess they did.
They may have done a patch, but they didn't have to do a separate release.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, Richie.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're probably right. It's okay to wait. Like we're saying, it's okay to wait. I don't think it's like mandatory. Like you have to have a PS5.
Nah. You can still be friends with us, even without one.
No. So, well, next we got Anayo Smith. Hit us with that one, Daniel.
Anayo Smith says no, because it's backwards compatible with PS4/PS5 games, especially PS5, leaving the PS Plus collection.
I'm not following 100%, but I get backwards with PS4, PS5 games especially, PS5 leaving the PS Plus collection. Maybe there was some words either that are missing or.
I wonder if they're talking about the PS5 collection.
Oh yes, the PS5 collection is leaving or has left now.
Yeah. That may be what they're talking about.
If you have a PS5, you get the PS5. You get the PlayStation Collection.
PlayStation Collection, yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Not anymore. They're not doing that anymore. That was only for, I guess, the people who bought the PS5 for the first couple of years.
That was cool, though.
Yeah, a lot of games. A lot of really great games.
Some games we already talked about today.
Yep. And in fact, I think on there, no, there's not. I was going to try to transition into plugging our Twitch, but
I was thinking, there was cool games on the PS Collection.
And there's also cool games
on Twitch.
On our Twitch channel. Yeah. So if you don't know about our Twitch channel, I know it's a little sidebar here. We stream on Twitch on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And that's what I was trying to get at a second ago. Mm-hmm. We stream on Twitch then and come hang out with us, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're playing games like Sea of Thieves, Rocket League, and
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
That's right. So come hang out with us. The link to it is in our description of every video. Mm-hmm. Or just go to Twitch and look for Gaming Gig.
And even if you don't want to watch us, just go throw us a follow anyway.
Yeah, that would be cool too.
Preach. All right, Graham Kelly.
Yep, Graham Kelly said,
Hit us with Graham Kelly.
Said, no, it's the best console, but I absolutely regret buying PSVR 2. It's simply not very good and hardly any games. Mainly crappy mobile games. There's about 15 announced in PS Store, and they're all crappy mobile free games. Not happy. Interesting. Now, as a PSVR 2 owner, I will say that I really, really like it.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't played that many games on it, but what I've played on it is great. I mean, the headset, in terms of a piece of tech, is, I think, really good compared to other headsets. It's not like it's say if you have like a Meta Quest 2. Mm-hmm. I think that you're going to be perfectly fine. It's not like you have to get a PSVR 2 right now. You're going to be fine with the Meta Quest 2. But if you're like looking to get into one and you have a PS5,
that would be
easy decision.
Yeah.
In my opinion. The only thing that's a bummer about it is that it's not wireless.
Right.
But otherwise it's got, great tech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still need to come over and try yours out.
Yeah. I agree there's not many games for it right now, and that is a total bummer. It's like an investment for the future. You got to think like, are there going to be more games? Hopefully. I mean, if there's not, I will be very disappointed in it not because it wasn't good, but because of the lost potential.
That would suck.
Yeah, it would be awful.
Yeah.
So, we just got to hope that more games come out, because it would be really bad if it was like this great VR headset and there's just no games for it. Mm-hmm. I mean, that'd be a shame. Very, very disappointing. And I hope it doesn't end up being that way. I really do.
All right. Well, I'm going to close out our comments here with Progs. Prog said, I bought one on launch, and it's probably my favorite console to date, 360 being second. Ooh, 360 is great.
Sharing the love between Xbox and PlayStation. I like it. I mean, the 360 is very nostalgic to a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. The 360, the force is strong with that one.
Yeah. I mean, that was a great era for gaming. And I mean, like I think that personally, we look at that with a little bit of rose tinted glasses, because I think that we're getting really good games now, and I think put us 10 years away from now, I think we're gonna look back on this and be like, there's some really great games coming out at that time.
Absolutely,
because that just tends to be the way it is. But still, I mean, yeah, that's awesome. That it's cool to know that a current gen console is like, for some people, is conquering and becoming that like number one system over the ones that have a lot of nostalgia tied to them.
What's your favorite console of all time, Randy?
My favorite console of all time. Mm-hmm. You know what? My gut reaction says Nintendo Switch.
Really?
Yep, I think it's my favorite of all time. It's the console that I have gotten the most into collecting for, probably the one I played the most games on. I love Nintendo, and like part of me wants to say the Nintendo 64 from when I was a kid, because that was like my entire childhood.
Yeah, I wondered about that.
But like excluding those nostalgia things, I think that probably more like give me years away from it. I think I'll look back on the Switch and this generation of the Switch and have like the most fond memories of gaming on that system.
Yeah. No, the Switch is awesome.
What about you? What's your favorite? What's your favorite console?
Well, I realized when I asked you that I didn't have a great answer if you were going to ask me.
Oh, okay.
I think Switch is definitely a contender. Mm-hmm. I also have to consider the N64, but I don't think I would put it at the top. My Immediately I thought about the Steam Deck because I think it's the most amazing thing.
Yeah, but that's just your new hotness. So you can't really, you got to give yourself.
I have to give myself some time.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The Game Boy Advance also comes to mind because I love me some Game Boy Advance.
Yeah. That's a good one. That one definitely is also a big memory of my childhood. Getting that Game Boy Advance and playing, all those things on that, man, I loved. That was a fun time in my life.
That was a fun time. What a time to be alive.
Very few responsibilities at that point in my life.
Man, that's what made it so good.
I know. So, now our last segment of the podcast. It's time for the 3 for Dale Club.
What you look forward to, people.
Yeah. If you don't know what the 3 for Dale Club is, this is our super exclusive secret club. And what it is leave a comment, and specifically it needs to be on the YouTube video version of this podcast. I know there are people who listen to the podcast on other places or watch the video on Spotify. I'm not able to get the comments from that. If they even can. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I don't know how you would do that. I would throw out here, I bet we could pull it off if you followed that Discord link in that podcast description.
Yeah, maybe.
I bet you could throw a 3 for Dale in the Discord, and we might see it.
Yeah,
that would be your next best bet, I would say.
But if you want to be part of the 3 for Dale Club, what you do is leave us a comment on the YouTube video version of this podcast. And just somewhere in the comment, put 3 for Dale, or it can just be your entire comment. It doesn't really matter. But if you do that, that lets us know that you made it to the end, and we'll shout you out at the end of the next podcast.
Yeah.
So look out for getting shouted out too.
Kind of like this.
Yeah.
So our first member of the 3 for Dale Club is James Boswell. I think this is James's first appearance on the 3 for Dale Club, and we appreciate you.
Yep. Glad you're here. Hope to see you again on another 3 for Dale Club. We also got another new one, The Shane Show. Shane's got a show. The Shane Show.
Yeah, I want to watch the Shane Show. All right. And next up, you know him. You love him. You hear his name every week. Landon Stallings.
Landon's always there for us. Also, who's also been there for us a lot is the next, Tom Derry. Also been there a lot for us. So, we want you to be part of the 3 for Dale Club next week. So just leave us a comment and put 3 for Dale, and we'll shout you out next week. We'd love to see you there.
Heck yeah.
All right, well, guys, until next time, I'm Randy.
Which makes me Daniel.
And this has been Gaming Gig.
Peace out.